sometimes play chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score. So I dream on to someday find that vintage love. I kept on looking, but everyone's such a bore. And out of a sudden, you came through the door. At the next table, your whiskey neat, the lights were dimmed as our eyes met and you saw me. And forevermore, I like to share that vintage dream. The lights were dimmed as our eyes met and you saw me. And forevermore, I like to share that vintage dream. Yeah, forevermore, we're living in that vintage dream. Different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned, where I had sometimes played chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score. So I dream on to someday find that vintage love. But everyone's such a bore. And out of a sudden, you came through the door. At the next table, your whiskey neat, the lights were dimmed as our eyes met and you saw me. And forevermore, I like to share that vintage dream. The lights were dimmed as our eyes met and you saw me. And forevermore, I like to share that vintage dream.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could could reach everyone, there'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope. Fill my head with roses. I can't help but dream away. Standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere. Maybe there is a star with your name. One thing I know is that there should be. There is no one a heart as pure, no, not like yours. Dreaming of you. Dreaming of you. Your smile. What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars.